back to Shred Guitar in the 80s. Today I thought it would be fun to kind of show the diminished harmonic minor relationship, kind of going through some positions. A way to get kind of cool neoclassical sounding solos and runs in your playing. And we're also going to talk some about Alcatrazz and Yngwie Malmsteen and the original demos that they made for their album No Parole from Rock and Roll. A great way to think of the harmonic minor scale and how it relates to diminished 7 arpeggios would be to just take a simple chord progression like A minor to E7. Over the A minor chord you can just play regular old minor, or you can play harmonic minor. And then over the E7, if we play A harmonic minor and start that on E, we get E Phrygian dominant. So if we take A harmonic minor, which would be the notes A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp, and A, start that over the E7 chord, it would be E, F, G sharp, A, B, C, D, and E. So if we just stay on the E7 or E major for a while, we can actually build some diminished runs off that. So let's try some Yngwie Malmsteen style arpeggios to start with. 4, pull off to 1 in the first string with an upstroke. Then we're going to go up on the second string, the D note, which is the 3rd fret with our 2nd finger. And then we're going to play down on B, which is the 4th fret of the 3rd string. We're going to go back and hit the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, the D. Go back to the F on the 1st string with the downstroke. And basically we get this. So it's up, pull off, up, down, down, down. Then we can move that up every 3 frets. We can also do an alternate picking thing, which is kind of a fun little sequence. It goes like this. And what I'm doing there is I'm playing 4, 1 on the 1st, to 3 on the 2nd, to 1 on the 1st, to 4 on the 3rd, to 3 on the 2nd, to 1, 4 on the 3rd, back to the 3 on the 2nd, to 1, 4 on the 1st, to 3 on the 2nd, to 1 on the 1st. So slow, it's this. Then move it up minor thirds or 1.5 steps. Another thing that's really important to be able to do is when you're playing the diminished arpeggios like that, in the positions there, is be able to see the harmonic minor scale. So if we start out that first position, and we play E Phrygian dominant or A harmonic minor, we'd have these notes. We can jump up to the 4th position and play the diminished arpeggio. And we have these notes. So the notes for that would be, starting on the 4th string, you'd have 7, 6, then 4, 5, 7 on the 3rd, then 5, 6 on the 2nd, to 4, 5, 7 on the 1st. Now you can also play a diminished triad starting on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. minor and diminished work great there. You can weave in and out of both positions. We can then move up to the 7th position and play the diminished arpeggio. And the harmonic minor scale around that would be 7, 9, 10 on the 3rd, 9, 10 on the 2nd, 7, 8, 10 on the 1st. You can also go to 6 on the 2nd string. Kind of play it like that, get some nice sounds. Here's a cool little legato lick in that position where you're basically going to pull off 10 to 9 to 6 on the 2nd string. Then you're going to play 9 again, pull off to 6 on the 2nd string, so it's... Then you're going to hammer to 9 on the 3rd string, and then play 6, hammer to 9 on the 2nd, and start the lick over. So you get... And you can outline that diminished arpeggio, which would be 6, 9 on the 2nd string to 7, 10 on the 1st, and kind of go into some runs outlining the scale around it. So slow that basically be. That kind of thing. So that's a really nice area to outline that diminished arpeggio and play some harmonic minor Phrygian dominant lines around it. I really love that area. It's very expressive with that minor 3rd. Then we can move up to the 10th position and play the harmonic minor. And we get this really cool area that Yngwie likes to solo a lot with. And you're going to play 13, 12, 10, 13, 12, 10 on the 1st and 2nd string, to 9 on the 2nd, to 10, 9 on the 3rd, to 4th string 12, 10, 9, to 12, 11 on the 5th. Move back up to the 13th position and play the diminished arpeggio, and right back to where we started. Just an octave higher. Today's album pick is one that I've had for a while, but I just started listening to a lot lately again. And I was going for a long drive the other day, and I had my headphones on and listened to the whole thing. And I was just amazed at hearing a young Yngwie Malmsteen play with no overdubs, which sounds like it could be through a Rockman. I believe he might have used a Rockman. And it's the No Parole from Rock and Roll. They had like a reissue, and they released all the demos, a bunch of demos that they recorded during the sessions. And it says it could be Clive Burr on drums. I'm not sure if it's Clive or not. But there's not a lot of echo or delay or anything like that, which he uses a lot now, which I really like the sound of. But it's so cool to hear a young Yngwie just play so clean and precise, just in your face with his tone, just as it is, just the Yngwie sound. I mean, he was just so amazing. I think that was peak Yngwie. As far as I'm concerned, he was so melodic, and his technique was just amazing. I still love the new Yngwie very much. I mean, I love the World on Fire album. I think that's a great album. I love jamming to that one. And it's just amazing to hear Yngwie without the vocals improvising, but really playing a solid rhythm and soloing in and out of the rhythm. Yngwie was just in total control of everything. The tempo, the technique, his tone was amazing, his note choice was amazing, his vibrato. I mean, to put it on and listen to these rough outtakes of all the songs off No Parole from Rock and Roll is just like unbelievable. I mean, I listened to it 3 times, and every time I listened to it, I heard something different. And like I said, he does licks on there that he never really did afterwards. You know, he did like these little arpeggio things where they weren't as much sweet, but more kind of picking them as a melody. You could hear where some of the solos were worked out, because like some of the solos had similar parts that ended up on the album. So he kind of had like a skeleton, I think, he was working with as far as the solos went. But his playing was a little more composed, some of the solos. I think he said that the solos were very worked out for that album. And you can kind of hear it in the demos, but I would say maybe 25% was worked out, the rest was improvised. It's really just amazing to hear Yngwie in your face playing these lines. Like Incubus doesn't have all the harmonies, it's just Yngwie's part with the keyboard and bass and drums. It's so cool to hear that. The Bigfoot solo really stands out, the Krina Corey solo. They do Suffer Me, the solo on that's amazing. If you haven't heard it, I'd recommend getting it, the bonus disc. I know it's on YouTube. You can get it on YouTube and listen to it. And I got mine off Amazon. I downloaded, about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. So I thought I'd mention it, the No Parole from Rock and Roll outtakes. Just amazing. Well, thanks a lot for joining me. I had a blast doing this. I love showing some of these ideas, the diminished and harmonic minor relationship, to create really cool neoclassical sounding things, or, you know, a lot of different styles these will cross over into. So, and it's real cool to visualize your arpeggios around the scales. That's so important to hit those chord tones. So, if you like this, please like and subscribe, and if you haven't, please do. Thanks a lot, and have fun picking.